Hello and welcome to That Beautiful Life podcast. This is episode 173 of That Beautiful Life podcast. My name is Kaduz Campbell, sitting here in the beautiful Redden, United Kingdom, talking to the beautiful Roger Bergstrom all the way in Stockholm, Sweden. Rog, how are you doing?
I'm fine. You don't have a shirt.
I don't have a shirt. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but you can hear my pectorals. I'm slapping them, you know.
I heard the slap all the way over to a beautiful Stockholm, Sweden, where I'm sitting here talking to you. That was an interesting intro, though. No, actually, this is the nude episode. No, it's not really. But it is hot, and we're sitting here both sweating a bit already, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the sun is shining, and it's supposed to be a very warm day here today. And I guess you guys over there in Reading might have the same.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah,
definitely. It's one of those days. It's one of those warm days. But I'm loving it. I'm loving the weather. I'm loving the fact that, you know, we've got some warmth and all that kind of stuff. I think to a certain extent, we've had it a bit chilly for a while. And I think this is one of the things that I kind of like. I would say I like about living in a temperate country is, you know what? Just as you start getting accustomed to one type of weather or whatever have you, you know, or you start getting resentful about it before you have the time to become resentful, it changes. And then you start missing it, you know?
Yeah. No, it's true. That's a good point. Like the four season thing. I mean, we talked about a bit about that before. And it is a bit of a charm. I agree with you. Sometimes you get annoyed because you might feel that the winter's too long or whatever, something like that. But yeah, and also sometimes you start to appreciate maybe the later part of spring and into summer a bit more because you've just been longing for it so much. I think that's definitely a thing here for a lot of people, as explained before, when you start to see them, you know, running around early on with only shorts and whatever, a t-shirt or
shorts are the way, man. That's the only way, you know. Shorts are the way, you know. So I have to say, I've completely changed my wardrobe already. I've done my summer shopping. Your boy is perfectly summer prepared, you know. I would say I've summarized myself, you know.
Summarized. That's a good one.
So yeah, basically it's been good. I've got a lot of new t-shirts, a lot of new shorts, you know, short trousers and stuff like that. I've basically just, you know, prepared myself for perfect summer weather, and I like it. Yeah. I like the summer. I like the vibe. I like, you know, getting out of the house and being able to walk around without a shirt on. You know, I take my trash out without my shirt on now. You know,
of course.
I've given up on shirts. I'm like, this is shirts are for cave people. You know, I'm basically of the mindset that, you know what, us developed people don't need shirts. You know, we don't need shirts anymore. Shirts are for
we've done the full circle now. We've tried it and everything. We're like, nah, it's not for us.
It's not for us. You know, that's the thing about everything in life, though. Everything is a full circle. You know, it goes around and it comes around, essentially. So we've gone full circle, and now it's just we are at that point where we don't wear shirts anymore again. And I love it. I love not wearing shirts again, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. That's kind of how it is, you know? So what about you?
Does that go for everyone, like opposite sex? No, I'm just
kidding. Hey, you know what? I don't mind. I honestly have no problem with if women don't wear shirts either. I don't know about you personally, but for me, if women decided, you know, in the morning that they were like, look, free the titties, like, we don't care about shirts anymore. I'd be like, hey, you know, do your thing.
It's like, I don't know how it is. I mean, talking about that, I get a bit stuck in the sentence right there because my head was filled with pictures. I don't know, and I couldn't really choose which one to look at. No, but it's interesting. I'm quite used to it in a way because I'm thinking about also, you know, summertime, and I don't know how it is regarding beaches in the UK. But I mean, maybe it was even more before. I mean, granted, there are beaches where you have nude beaches, of course. That's one thing. Yeah. And then everyone is nude. But I'm thinking about normal public beaches. There will always be some people or chicks, you know, not wearing a top or something. So
you never know. You never know.
You never know.
I don't have a problem with it. You know, I'm just like, look, you know, you do you. You do you. At the end of the day, however you feel comfortable. you do what makes you comfortable, you know. And that makes me happy, you know. So
exactly. If you're happy, I'm happy.
That's basically it, you know. Because I personally like walking around with my chest out, you know. I feel nice, you know. I'm manly, you know, super cool, you know. I can smack my chest, you know. You know, basically just scare people away if they try to like take my, I don't know, what do primitive people fight for? Their meat or something.
Or they just simply want your shirt that you have in your back pocket. I don't know.
Definitely. Something. Yeah, that's exactly it. So, yeah, I'm not really, I've been enjoying the summer weather. I've been cycling as per usual. I have been getting around, you know, going visiting friends and family, I think, for the most part. I do plan
may I ask you, or maybe this was, have you met someone that you haven't met for a very, very long time?
The last time I ran into someone I haven't met for a very long time, it was this friend of mine. I was in London. This was, I can't remember when it was, to be honest. There was this friend I think I mentioned this before. There was this friend of mine that that we went to secondary school together, and we hadn't seen each other since secondary school. And I think she left to move to the UK. I think we were as I told her, I believe it was in our second year in secondary school, but she confirmed to me that no, it was like by the final years when she left. No, I guess that's probably because of the fact that by that point in time, we didn't hang out in the same circles. We weren't in the same classes. So she didn't exist to me anymore in that sense. I think, you know, all I knew is that, I don't mean it in a bad way, but all I mean is like by that point in time, we hung out in different circles. And by the time she moved out to here, I knew she moved here because of Facebook. As you know about most people, you know, and so your friend, like your school friend group or when you're a younger friend group, you find out through Facebook. And so I never really had any sort of I haven't had anyone I've met in a long time, but I have an uncle that has hit me up recently who happens to live in the UK.
Exactly. That's what I was.
That's what you're alluding to. Oh yeah, we haven't met.
Just a bit like
we didn't get to meet up because it turns out he had a vacation plan that he forgot about it, and he's on vacation right now. So So yeah, I'm just sort of like I messaged him. I was like, hey, so when are we gonna meet up? And he's like, oh crap, I'm in Greece. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I forgot. We planned a vacation, and I completely forgot about it when we spoke on the phone. And
my God.
But I think that happens to every bloke though. Like your missus plans a trip when she's like, oh, we got to do this thing on like Friday or whatever have you, or next month or whatever. And then your mate hits you up, or some other bloke hits you up and is like, hey man, like you free to go watch the football? Yeah, man, I should be free on a Friday. I'm usually free on a Friday, and then Friday comes wrong, and you're getting ready to, and your missus is like, oh, by the way, have you got your passport ready? We're going on that vacation. You're like, bloody hell.
It happens. Indeed, it's true.
It's bloke life. That's what blokes do. Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
That's kind of what we do. We blokes do bloke things. But yeah, I haven't met up with my uncle yet. Hopefully, I'll be able to see him sometime soon. I'll be in London this week for Comic-Con. So this weekend.
Oh, okay.
This weekend is Comic-Con. I've got a press badge. For Comic-Con, so I will be going.
Fun.
I have somehow secured one for Chris as well. So he does not know this yet, but I will.
What? He doesn't know.
He doesn't know, like, because mine was approved long before his. So so I got the approval for his last night, I think, or yesterday afternoon, and I haven't told him yet because I didn't speak to him yesterday afternoon because yesterday when I got in, I was so exhausted, so tired. I just went to sleep. And by the time I woke up, it was like pretty late in the night. I think like after 11 minutes to 12 was when I woke up. And by that point in time, I wasn't going to look for Chris.
Really?
Yeah, I've just sort of like to a certain extent, it's like we're islands in the same ocean in this house. To a certain extent, like we see each other from time to time, and that's about it, you know.
Yeah. That it could be like that.
That's kind of it. I mean, you know, more or less, because I think the thing is the way in which Chris does things and the way in which I do things is completely different. So like I'm a bit more active, you know. I go cycling. I go for random walks in the middle of the day. You know, I'm usually doing stuff around, and the thing with Chris is like I don't know if maybe it's because he's on vacation or what it is, but he's not that type of person. So more or less he's sort of chill. And then other than that too, it doesn't also like sometimes it just seems like he just wants space, like he just wants to just chill on his own. And I don't understand it, but I respect other people's space in that sense. So I'm just like,
exactly.
Look. You do you, I do me, and that's kind of been it for the most part. So yeah. So when I wake up, if I get up or I come in and it's late, I don't even bother. I think if he wants to, the way I think about it is if he wants to, spend some time and hang out with me in a sense.
Yeah.
He knows who I am.
yeah, exactly.
That's basically the kind of the way I look at it. But generally speaking, it's been a good week. Family's been good. Everything's been normal. My brother and sister are back from vacation, so I'm no longer sneaking over to their house to eat out their food as I've been doing while they were gone. Yes, I'm finishing off their pantry. But I did get to do lunch with my sister-in-law yesterday, though. I was supposed to drop a key back for her, and so I borrowed her mom's key to be able to go and eat out her stuff in her house. And and basically I had to go drop back the key. And so I met up with her, and we decided we're going to do lunch together. And we just sat down, had lunch at this nice place, and we just chatted. It's always nice when I hang out with my sister-in-law. She's so awesome. Like really, really cool, And
that's nice.
Yeah, and then generally last night hopped on a call with my sis. We chatted for a bit, all that kind of stuff. Alex was she came. I was on the couch sleeping, and she came and sat down next to me and started playing a game. So she was playing Fire Emblem Tree Houses. Not Tree Houses. Fire Emblem Engage, which that game is awesome. By the way, that game is actually pretty cool. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, we did that. But generally it's been pretty chill. It's been pretty chill so far for the most part.
Yeah.
I think Alex and Tali have some plan coming up where they're supposed to go somewhere, and so Tali's supposed to drop off her son or something at some point. But I don't know how that's working out. I'll hear of it at some point or the other. And then, as I say, I get the rundown from them, and then I just I'll go with the flow from there. But
yeah.
We'll probably have a lads' day. It'll be pretty cool, that kind of stuff at some point in the near future. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, generally speaking, not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Loving the weather, loving how everything's going at the moment. Everything is just smooth sailing. I haven't had a shower last night though, so I kind of stink. So yeah,
that's a thing.
This is the too much information kind of moments. But yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like the red button. Yeah, okay.
Stop me whenever you want. So what about you, Rog? What have you been up to?
I can say I smell a bit too. I think I need a shower as well. I just realized that now. I need to, first off, since I actually am wearing a shirt which just showed up to be a problem, I should have taken it off and do the chest kind of.
I had a shirt on earlier, but that's the thing. I was like, what's that smell? Oh, wait a minute. It's me. Take the shirt off.
Oops, and stuff like that. No, never. We're gonna drop the shirt. Okay. No, it's nice to hear that you have had a nice week, because I've had the same. Actually. Yeah, it's been good. As mentioned, I mean, the weather has been fine, and that helps definitely. It's kind of interesting to when you think about it, how just like this kind of weather can actually give you a boost or a kick, even though it might not be that like any special around you happening or stuff like that. But just going out, as said, me, especially now with my routines, I take the walks after lunch, usually with Isaac, and if it's like this, it's just, it's so nice. Even I was thinking about wind. We talk about wind. It can be annoying. And if it's cold wind, it can also makes you sick, but now it's different because the air is much warmer. So it means that the wind is also warmer and can be actually just.
I think what you're looking for is refreshing. That's it,
Yeah, refreshing is the word, definitely. I agree. So that's nice, And it's been a bit of like, in this time of the year, there's a few like birthdays and stuff going on. My mother-in-law had her birthday first. And then I called my sister on Thursday, because that was the 18th of May. because she had this anniversary. She became 60, you know, which
Mm-hmm.
is for me like, are you kidding me? My older sis is becoming 60 years old. I
Mm-hmm.
can't believe it.
That's a
And
milestone.
yeah, it's a milestone indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And but they're taking it quite chill. She's going with her, you know, the man she met after, you know,
Mm-hmm.
my well, her husband passed away and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So he's really nice. Christer is his name,
Mm-hmm.
and they went for just a small trip outside of Örebro where they live. You know, it's like a 2 hours ride from here, from
Mm-hmm.
Stockholm, and spent time with their like family, you might say. Since I mean her, you know, like Moa and Simon are adults now, and
Yeah, they don't need their
they're actually,
parents.
yeah, exactly. And they're actually Moa and Magnus going to get their first child this
Oh,
summer, quite
wow.
soon. Yeah, and Simon and his wife Isabel is expecting their second. You know, so it's going to be a
That's
child
amazing.
summer. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be cool. So they had a nice like stay over thing at a beautiful place by a lake, and you know, chilling, eating good food. And then my sister and yeah, Krister that I just spoke about, they went to Prague,
Mm-hmm.
to the Czech Republic,
Mm-hmm.
or the Czech, yeah, and they, I think they've been there for a few days, and now they are in Berlin, in
Mm-hmm.
Germany. So they're
Ooh.
having, yeah, it's like a nice little, how I don't know what to call it, like mini vacation, also
Mm-hmm.
due to the celebration. So I'm gonna talk with her again when she comes home, which is most likely. Are they home now, or are they coming home today? I don't know, something like
They'll
that.
be at some point.
Yeah,
But here's the
yes,
thing. I want to circle back to something that you mentioned. You
sure.
mentioned about your niece and nephew having more kids and stuff like that. How do
Yeah.
you feel about being a grandparent? Like in your mind, are you like looking forward to it? Do you even think about it? Like, what's the deal?
Yes, I think about it. I've been
Mhm.
thinking about it for maybe too many unhealthy years still.
You just like whispering into the boys'
When?
ears, like, when are you gonna give me some
When?
grandkids?
Yeah, I'm happy about your race, Adam, and everything, but when?
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Like, so I've got a list of eligible fertile women that I've been I've just been keeping this list, you know, randomly
Yeah.
in my trousers, just
Son,
waiting to
I've
just.
been on the internet, and I have. Yeah.
If you can't find a nice Swedish girl, you know, I'm currently a member of randomwomenavailable.com and willing and able to make grandbabies for me. So just wanted to make sure you understood that if you need my help, it is here for you.
Oh my god, that was good. Oh,
What do you think about
Maybe-
Annalie? Do you think Annalie thinks about the same thing as well? Like, do you guys talk about it?
we haven't talked about it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, for you know, not really like a long conversation or anything, because I mean, right now, as we know, they're still quite young, and especially also in their like careers and everything. Especially Adam at the moment. So you know, maybe we'll see what happens also when he, as you know, he's soon moving to his new apartment, or his own apartment, the first like that he really owns, which is gonna be like the beginning of June, 9th of June. Maybe from there, we'll see.
Just start giving random women his address. Just be like, look,
exactly.
just put it out right now on the podcast. The address is 445 number 2 Sweden Street. Like, just pull up, right? His name is Adam. Knock the door. Tell him, you know, like, your dad sent me. Like that.
You only have to say, "I like babies," and everything will be.
That would be it, you know.
Oh my god!
A month later, he moves out. He's like,
harassment. Oh my god! Selling the apartment as quick as possible for whatever price.
Nah, not even selling the
Yeah,
apartment.
nah.
He'd basically just like get insurance, burn the place down. Look, I'll take my money back.
Or even that. Okay. Holy smoke! Yeah. You know, but it's a good question, and if I gotta be a bit serious about it, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm looking forward to it.
You're
because,
ready.
I mean, you know, that would be amazing to, you know, because yeah, I would love to also, you know, when it's like their birthdays or in Christmas, to buy some fun toys and play with them, and just, you know, go out and kick some ball, you know, and there's a lot of things I would look forward to actually. So
okay.
I'm perfectly I'm fine with that.
I'm sure you have a list sitting around somewhere in your house, all the plans and stuff. You've made plans already. You're like, so grandbaby number 1. These are the plans we'll be having. Yes, so, you probably walk past other grandparents with their kids, and you're like, oh, that could be me. If only these boys would go out there and just have some babies.
Exactly. Yeah, man, it's a thing. But what about you? If you look like
for me,
forward, but still.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit young right now in the sense of like grandkids, but I would love to be a grandparent. I think I think one, like, this is a simple rule I have or opinion I hold. No one loves you more than your kids love you. And I imagine your grandkids are similar. Like, they love you like, wow. Because like, especially if you're a cool grandparent, if you're like a nice grandparent, you spoil them, you treat them good, you have a great relationship with them and so forth. I remember when I was a kid, I remember having a really good relationship with my grandmother. She used to spoil me a lot. So I remember liking that a lot, basically. So
that's nice.
Yeah, I could see myself being a cool granddad, just like super cool. I'd be like, so like, how many games do you have this month? Your parents give you any game money? Let me give you extra 50, pick up that new game coming out. Yeah. Back in the days, it was snack money, and your grandparents would give you sweet money.
Exactly.
Like, let me give you a $5, go buy some sweets in the shop. Your parents didn't buy you any sweets. I'm going to be the grandparent buying you games. I'm like, look, so let me, how many games have you had this month? You got that new Final Fantasy come out? You didn't? Oh, can't have that. Let me get you a new Final Fantasy game. Don't worry about it. Here's a 50 quid. Go get yourself Final Fantasy. Go down to the corner shop and buy yourself Final Fantasy. Oh, go over to the good old Amazon. Click place order. You know what? Here's Granddad's Amazon account. Just log in, pick whatever games you want, put it on my tab. I've got this.
It's gonna be a huge share. Family share. Man! It's gonna be so much fuss though with your son. I can imagine. Oh, you did it again. Yes, schoolwork. And
I think if I give them and this is something I think parents do and grandparents give kids money. Is parents usually take the money. Like, they'll usually take the money and put it to use, because kids waste money, honestly. Kids will wait. You give kids money and they'll spend on nonsense, absolute nonsense. So the parents will usually take it and they'll put it towards something that the kid actually needs, or something like, I'll get you some. You need some new trainers. Let me buy you some. I could see, like me saying to my grandbabies, like, hey, like, you need this new game, right? Let me just give you my Amazon account. Go in and buy something. And I could see like my lads coming in and be like, oh, Dad give you his Amazon account info again? Let's get ourselves a new Tele. Yeah, we need that. Turn to their wife like, babe, remember that new bed we needed? Dad's he's giving Charlie his Amazon info again. Yeah, I know he's good for it. Let's get a new bed. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it can become complicated. Indeed, I hear it's a lot of things that could actually happen, but it's but overall,
I look forward to it.
Just to sum things up here, I think it's something I look forward to, definitely.
I think it'll be entertaining.
Do that as well. Yeah. So,
who do you think is going to be the favorite grandparent? Do you think it's going to be you or Anley?
Of course.
You see, the thing about, I asked out of niceness, because if ever Annie listens to this, I don't want her to think that I think this, but I kind of think that. Annie's pretty cool. She's pretty cool, but you are cool as well. You're like proper cool. So like, you're a gamer dad. So a gamer dad becomes a gamer granddad, which is even awesomer, So yeah,
it might have its perks. We'll see. See.
You've got more time as a granddad. You're more refined in your gaming. You sit back. You're more like, when you're sniping, instead of like taking your shots like really quick scope, you're sort of, you can take a deep breath and slowly move to the side. Oh, there's a bullet coming. Let me just move 2 inches to the side. Went past my head. Pull the gun up slowly. Take that guy out. Perfect. Yes, grandbabies. Let's go.
I know he will come this way. I'm just gonna wait here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, is that a cup of coffee? I'll have that while I wait. Definitely.
That sounds like me in 20 years from now.
That's me now when I'm playing E. Yeah. That's honestly me right now in E. Like, I am the most lazy player in E. Like, I am like, look, I see someone take the ball. I'm like, if I move this guy back a couple inches to the left, he's going to run into my path. Right? It's basically me.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. But But it's also fun when it actually becomes like that, and you start to realize due to experience and you played a lot of games and of course also spent time in one game like this. Then okay, he's gonna come there, it's gonna do that. Okay, he did.
You did.
It's like
just get the hang of it. Super cool.
Yeah.
So
reading minds.
Let's start talking about some shows. Let's start talking about what we've been watching, what we've been talking about. Raj, you've been watching something that I don't know anything about, right? And
okay.
I say that like I know the name of it, but I don't know what it's about. So
Sure, of course. It has to be like that. Otherwise, what we talk about, I have to explain, right? No,
exactly.
it's a thing. You're referring to Narcos. I've been watching Narcos. The name in itself is just good, Narcos. Well, this is a. I thought it was. Yeah, it's a bit older. Well, it's from 2015 until 2017. That's when they probably recorded and it was released and all that beautiful stuff. This is a really good series in my book. I have been binging quite hard. It really got me. The thing, though, is that I started to watch like an episode or two already like a year ago or more, but for some reason I didn't continue. I went into or onto with other series, you know how it can be. But now I got back and it's really good. I mean, this is literally a TV series about the Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar, which had his high life, you might say, during like the 80s and 90s in Colombia. And I mean, I even remember like in real life some of the stuff in the newspapers back then regarding this man. And it's about, also the many other like drug kingpins who plagued the country through the years because they were gods. They were literally ruling the country more or less on their terms. Because the corruption was so deep and they had so much money they couldn't spend it. They started to dig holes in like the ground everywhere to just put down money. That's how it was. Because he started small, as everyone does, but then it became like bigger and into this empire because he was also getting the possibility or found out ways to deliver the cocaine over to the US, and that's when it really took off, especially to Miami. And so it's following, of course, him, like Pablo himself, his side of things. It also follows especially two DEA agents, like the agents that are, US agents that are taking care of business when it comes to the drug cartels and drugs overall. And we're watching Pedro Pascal, funny enough.
Yeah, he's
one
in
of the
there.
actors. Yeah, he's in there. If you don't know him, it's the guy that plays Mandalorian, for example.
I don't think the thing though is like I think Mandalorian is a good reference to me because that's one of his best roles. But I think if you really want people to know, he's the guy in The Last of Us who plays Joel.
Yeah, exactly. That's even better. Thank you for filling in. Definitely. And he's a friend or colleague, DEA colleague in the series is Boyd Holbrook, who plays Steve. I mean, remember these guys. There are characters or names that are from what really happened, right? They have a few fictional ones, or actually changed. I think there was one character, one really tough Colombian like police, or was it with the army? I think it was police. That I think for some reasons they decided to not go with his full name and everything, so they have made that up. But otherwise, it's a lot of due to the documentation and everything, what really happened. And of course, it's also a lot of violence and death. I mean, it was insane. He killed so many people. I mean, no, I'm not going to spoil that, by the way, but it's no. It's insane actually when you think about it. And again, how. But the good thing with the series, too, also in a way, it's not really saying. It's not really taking like a side, if that makes sense. It's telling a story that in itself is so, entertaining if you want to. That it doesn't need to push like him as a bad guy, if that makes sense, or glorify the agents from the US, because
it's basically a human thing, basically. Like
it is because I mean, let's face it, it was also politics into this. We had the era of Reagan going into Bush, you know.
Yeah.
George Bush was a former CIA agent, so you can imagine what he did regarding changing personnel also into the Colombian territory regarding these drug cartels and the phase of Pablo Escobar. So it kind of knits together, and again, it's as you pointed out, it's like the humans, the people behind it. It's not just only black and white, if that makes sense. It's not like the good guy, bad guy. You can figure that out yourself. But it also shows that even the good guys, especially when they get pushed more towards later on in the series, to they have to follow the rules, right?
Yeah.
But they start to bend the rules if you want to be nice, Yeah, this is a really good series. I recommend it. I think it's definitely worth watching. It's like a biography crime drama, I would say. That's how it's listed here on IMDb. And talking about IMDb, it has an 8.8 out of 10, easily for me a 9, maybe 9.5. It's one of the better series altogether, if I think about it, that I watched for some time. It's definitely up there in like the top 5 of the last like 2 years I can think of when it comes to series. So this is good. This is good.
I think Alex was saying that it's one that she's binged, that she's actually seen the entirety of it, and I think
she have. Okay.
She has this is her kind of stuff. For me, generally speaking, I'm not much of like, I don't really watch a lot of violent stuff, but this is in my list because of you. You've actually recommended this to me prior. So it is on my watch list. I just haven't watched it yet. And the more now that I now have seen more stuff with like Pedro Pascal, now I'm more keen to watch it because of the fact that Pedro Pascal is in it. And
he's good here too. He's his colleague as well. I've seen him before. I can't really place him, this Boyd Holbrook, but they're both great in there. And also I have to give it to the actor playing Pablo. What's his name here? I can't find it.
Quick question. Did you see the
Juan Murcia, I think.
Juan Murcia. Quick question. Did you see Sandman? The Sandman?
I don't think I did. No, because the answer has to be no.
Then, because I was thinking that's where you would have known Boyd from, but if you haven't, because he plays a really important character.
I see
in
that
the
now.
Sandman.
I was just checking that out as we're speaking, and now I see him there.
If you haven't seen the Sandman, that's my best recommendation for you right now. You need to go see the Sandman, like instantly. Put that on the list. Okay. Get the lads together. They'll love it. You'll love it. Trust me on that one. If ever I've recommended something to you, that is really good. Sandman. Go see the Sandman. It's only one season. It's on Netflix. I think it's like 8 episodes or something. And it basically, like, it's really well developed. Like, honestly, it's one of the best things on Netflix.
I know about it. I know about it, though. I've seen trailers, too. And it's okay, cool.
Make the time.
Also nice, as we've said before, it's nice sometimes also with the series that are like one season and not more. Like, it stops, or maybe this will continue. I don't know.
It is continuing, yeah.
It depends on Netflix and how well it does and all that stuff. But well, Narcos. That's been what you said. Alex watched it. Did you know? Did she like it or?
Oh, definitely. She likes that kind of stuff. She likes gangster stuff. I'm like, not my cup of tea. Not a big gangster guy. There are a few gangster films that I like, but I'm not out here looking for them.
As you probably understand, this is a bit different in a way, since it's like this has happened and it's real.
It's more historic than anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of like that too. I'm into history also, and it also brings things into perspective, also regarding relationships a bit, also with like the Big Brother USA, and you have this Latin America country, and those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
it's interesting. It's an interesting. I definitely will give it a watch at some point. It's on the list now, so
you don't have to watch if you don't like that stuff.
Oh no, that's the thing. It's not like I don't I hate. And this is the difference. Is like I may not like something in the sense like I'm not out there looking for it, but on the other occasion, I may have a feel for it. So like,
yeah, that's a thing.
I can watch a gangster movie, but it's not my go-to usually. Like usually I'd go for something else, but yeah, I can get into a nice gangster film. Should be fine. So yeah, it is on my list as I say already. So yeah, should be perfectly fine to watch that one. As for me, I've been watching something else as well that is also on Netflix, and this was one that was actually recommended by Chris, which is called Lookism. And I did not initially I didn't initially like Lookism. I honestly I started watching it and it irritated the crap out of me. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe up to like 5 or 6 it was just irritating to watch because the main character is very unlikable. Like,
really? Oh,
highly unlikable for a main character. Like you're in there thinking, like you're wishing the worst on this guy. Like you're just thinking, this is some crap.
It's that bad. No.
It is that bad. So the storyline behind it is basically it's about this kid he's getting bullied at school, because he's a fat guy and he doesn't really know how to get out of the fact that he's getting bullied at school, and his mom is trying to make ends meet. They live a very poor sort of like humble life and all that kind of stuff, and these bullies are just taking it out on him just because of his weight. There's no other reason. It's not like he does anything to them or anything like that. And then the story continues where he himself has grown a sort of like I want to say like a disrespect towards his mom because of his humble life, because his mom feeds him a lot and stuff like that, so he blames her for him being overweight, and he's rude to her and disrespectful to her and so forth and things like that, considering the fact that his mom is trying her best for him and all that kind of stuff. Seeing the different perspectives of the show, it makes him very unlikable of a character, but at the same time it's supposed to have a redemption kind of vibe to it. But yeah, it's one of those shows where it takes really long before you actually start thinking, you know what, I'm not too mad at this. And that's essentially what it is. It's one of those shows where I won't spoil the plot twists and all that kind of stuff. I think you fully grasp the plot twists in there by episode 2, 3 maybe, and then it sort of develops from there. But generally speaking, it starts from it's a 7.7 on IMDb on Netflix, and I give it a 7. Initially, for the first, and I have to say this is a 7 with an asterisk. The first 5 episodes are like 2. Right, you're watching like a 2 or 3 rated show. Like it is irritating to watch, but by the time you get to like past 5, 6, 7, 8, it actually starts getting better. Like you actually start rooting for him to a certain extent, or you start liking certain aspects of the show that you didn't like before. And that's the thing about Lookism. It takes a while before it actually gets going. Chris was like, "Oh, just watch until until the end of the first episode." That's nonsense. Don't watch until the first episode. It's horrible. Like if you go in the first episode thinking to yourself like, "I'm gonna suffer through the first 3 episodes," that's how you should be thinking. From the first 3 to the first 5, I'm gonna be suffering, bro. I'm just gonna be suffering through this. And by the time you get to like episode 6 or so, it should start looking good. You should start feeling like, yeah, I'm feeling this show. It's not bad. So yeah, Lookism on Netflix. Cool. Go check it out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Interesting when you say that regarding the fact that some series are starting. You might call it slow, or if you're going to be nice, but it can even be almost bad. But then it kind of you get into it, and it grows on you. It's like you start to like it, and
it builds. It's a nice build, and yeah, definitely a big fan of Lookism. I shouldn't say big fan, but a fan of it right now.
I hear you.
I'm looking forward to season 2. Let's put it that way.
Good.
That being said, gaming wise, there's a game on the screen. That's not the game I've been playing this week. Just didn't have any footage ready for this week, and I just decided I didn't want to play the same thing I played last week, so just chuck this up here. This is some random gameplay on my PC. I have been playing Efootball, of course, as per usual. Efootball 2023, of course, which has been going pretty good. And of course, the game I was playing last week, which was Preferencer F. There's F reframe code, which there's not much different in that game. It's still the same experience. I'm still enjoying it. With regards to eFootball, I've sort of moved. So I've basically set up I've got a LAN cable, run it from my basic hub, because in our house we've got a mesh network in the house. For those who don't know what a mesh network is, it's basically instead of having one router or one router, as they say in the North American region, you'd have basically multiple. You'd have about in our house we have 3, and you'd have the main one that's basically in the room where you have your actual modem, and then you'd have the others in other rooms to sort of like spread out your Wi-Fi. And the good thing about it is that because of how it's designed, when you move from room to room, your device will switch between them fluidly without having to like reconnect to different network, basically. So it's really, really good in that. So we've got that set up in our house. And the thing is that whenever I game, like before I would usually game in the office because I've got my PC here, I've got all my stuff in here and all that kind of stuff. But because, I've got Chris staying over, I don't use my office as often because he's staying in the office. The office is the guest bedroom. And so because of that, I kind of needed a way to be able to, if I needed to jump on a game and play or record or whatever have you, I needed to be able to do it from, not just from my bedroom, because Alex works from my bedroom. So essentially I had to find a way to be able to do it from, like my living room. Yeah. And so I ran a LAN cable from there, bought LAN cable on Amazon, ran the cable to the living room, because the hub that connects devices in the living room is actually in our dining room. So I did all that, and now it works. So I can actually use my PS5. I've actually moved the PS5 to the living room, so it's now a living room console again, no longer in my office. I've got my laptop in there as well, so I can, work and, that kind of stuff from the living room. It's not the same. Like, I am really not as productive on my laptop at home as I am from my desktop. I'm productive on my laptop when I'm not home, but when I'm in the house, I don't find I'm as productive because, one, the main thing about a laptop is that it's not the most comfortable thing for writing really a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas my desktop, my keyboard is perfectly ergonomic and designed specifically for my nerve injury. Like it compensates for that. And so, not like basically I get what I can get done on the laptop, but it's not really what I would consider ideal. But that's the thing in life, is that you kind of, things don't always have to be ideal. You just have to figure out a way to make it work, and that's what I've been doing. So generally speaking, that's kind of what your boy has been he's been gaming, really. What about you, Raj? What have you been gaming?
Actually, this is interesting. It's one of the few times that I put up a game that I want to talk a bit about that I haven't really played yet. I bought it. I actually bought it. One of the first games I have been buying for quite some time as well now. And we're talking about the new Outlast game, which is, if you know Outlast, it's a horror game series nowadays. It's actually more than one game. And the new game is called The Outlast Trials, and it was released on, actually, when my sister had her birthday, which was on Thursday, 18th of May. This time around, though, because the former games has been like normal, you might say, single-player experiences, but this time around, they're doing it a bit different. It's going to be, it's a co-op game, actually. So you can be, I don't know, it's up to 4 or something. I haven't really... what I did is you can play single player, but it's definitely online co-op, and I full controller support, of course. I would highly recommend to play it like that. I'm gonna next week start like streaming the game, playing with Isaac, and also a follower of mine. His name is Sandro, and so what I did, I bought the game, I downloaded it, and I tried. I like went into the game and just tried it a bit, because I need, especially now having not as good specs as I had before, I need to know that, okay, it runs well, and I can therefore stream it as well.
Right.
And this game, even though it's also in early access, because that has to be said, is performing well. They've done a good job so far with the game, and it has very positive reviews on Steam so far, almost 10K reviews, and it looks good. This is I'm looking forward to play it. It's also a good price. It's £28.99.
It's £24.99 actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. So I think this game will do well. It already started to do well, and a lot of people, especially in the, you might say, horror community of things, are happy with the game. So that's cool. So that I will start. And I as I said, I went into it and just checked things out a bit, and yeah, it definitely looks outlastish. So it's gonna most likely be a adrenaline kind of scary experience, and it's also going to be interesting to see how it plays out, like in co-op, since that's new for an Outlast game. And again, it's the same developers and publishers, which means Red Barrels. They've been doing good stuff so far, I think. So I'm looking forward to this. I also want to put in there that I'm gonna most likely today also download the new Amnesia game demo, because there's also a new Amnesia game talking about like bigger horror game titles that are coming out soon. So I will do the same. I will download the demo here when it comes to Amnesia, try that out and see if there's something I can play also later, because I wasn't too happy about the latest like the Amnesia Rebirth game that came out a few years ago. I actually didn't finish it. I wasn't. That wasn't really.
It happens, man. It happens. Sometimes you jump in something and it's it just doesn't pull you in. And I think one of the things, this game that you're talking about with regards to the Outlast trials, it's kind of like the poster child of what games are not nowadays. Because games nowadays usually are what you just explained, which is games you don't really want to finish half the time. And this is, from what it sounds like, early access. It's perfect. It seems to be really well polished in the sense that it's well optimized for PC and all that kind of stuff as it's run on your system, which is not the highest spec. And at the same time, it's also Steam Deck verified at this right now as an early access title. It's well priced as well. It's not overly priced like a lot of games you see nowadays, 70 quid, 60 quid, 70 quid, that kind of price tag. It's not. It's well priced. It's well optimized. It's got a lot of language support. This is, I guess, what you would want from developers, putting out a good polished product and receiving good feedback from it. I would personally buy this game just to show support for a game like this, even though I may not be the target audience, but I would buy something like this just to show support to a developer that puts the effort in and is making a good product, So yeah, that definitely an interesting option. I've added to my watch list. I'm gonna I'll probably grab it at some point. So yeah, it's pretty good game. Looks good. It says that you own it. It says Roger owns it and a friend of mine wants it.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, by the way, it's kind of interesting when we started the podcast and we start to talk about the week that has passed. There is one thing that I didn't like. I'm not sure I forgot it, but I didn't talk about it.
What's that?
I said initially, okay, so it's the month of May and there are a few people having their birthdays. And I mentioned my mother-in-law. I talked about my sister apparently on the 18th. But there's someone else that actually have had their birthday, and that's me.
Oh shit! Are you serious? Oh my god! You know what's the thing,
and
bro?
It's not like, it's actually also a bit of an anniversary because it's 5 years between me and my sister. So 2 days ago on Monday 22nd just became 55, bro.
Wow! Congratulations, man! That is amazing. You know what the thing is?
Yeah.
Usually, I'm so accustomed to keeping up with your birthday because of the fact that
I know.
Facebook usually tells me, I get a prompt. It's like Roger had a birthday and all that kind of stuff. But I don't spend time on Facebook anymore. Like, I rarely am on that platform. And because I'm really on it, and the other thing too, I think Facebook used to be linked into a lot of different things like your calendar and all that kind of stuff. So even if you weren't not on Facebook, it would show up. But I believe a lot of that has been removed for some reason. It's no longer integrated into a lot of different applications anymore. So I don't have your birthday saved on anything. I need to remove.
No worries.
No, it's not cool. This is unacceptable of me. Usually what I do is I give you a call on your birthday, even if we're not recording, and I didn't. So I do apologize for my tardiness.
Okay. No worries.
But that being said, we have a tradition here on this podcast, actually, with regards to birthdays. And as I failed in my endeavors of remembering to follow through with the tradition, because I was betrayed by Facebook and I say that not really blaming Facebook, blaming myself, but yes, I blame Facebook. So with that, let us begin the tradition. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Roger. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, bro. That's appreciated.
You know, you're the only person I like singing the birthday song to. I actually hate singing the birthday song, to be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, detest the damn thing to no end. But you're the one person I am fine with singing it to me, and the one person I'm fine singing it to. It's the weirdest thing. Amazing, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, we started this quite a long time ago. So it's been like a tattoo on our chest, our man's chest.
So I'm saying, manliness. You know, to be honest, I've been walking around the house I've been walking around the house flexing this whole time. Ever since I've started working out again. Like, your boy has just been like, you know, beating his chest, walking around, flexing muscles and stuff. You know, I bump into people, like I bump into Chris every now and then. I'm like, Chris, you're gonna hurt yourself, you know? So strong and manly. Yeah. It's been fun. It's that's the thing.
As my dad said, I think that goes. He said this is translated, of course, from Swedish, so I'm not sure if I'm getting this perfectly right. But it's like, yeah, when I bumped into my dad like that, you know, maybe as a kid, also running around a corner in the house and just boom, bumped into my dad. He said, "Hey, be careful, son. If you run into a mountain, there might be smaller rocks coming down on you."
How do you say it in Swedish, though? How do you say it in Swedish?
I have to think.
He just said in English. Translate it back.
Yeah, translate it back. Var försiktig, min son. Om du springer in i ett berg så kanske det ramlar ner småsten på dig.
And how would you respond in Swedish back to him?
I don't care!
Oh, brilliant.
No, or get off my...
Oh, man. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's just fiction. No,
it is just fiction, you know. Look at that. You know, do you do that, though? Do you walk around your house and flex muscles every now and then? Like, you know, you're just like, look at that.
All the time.
That's how it should be, man.
No, I don't really. No, it's very rare. It happens once in a while, though. Still, actually, just looking if it's still there. You know, that's the thing. Now, also getting older. So, okay, is it still there? Yeah.
You look in the mirror. You're just like.
But you know, I've been working out for a long time. It's nothing real. For me, it's more like. I mean, when I was younger, when I was like 25, like in Adam's age, and I was in the gym, and I had already then many years behind me working out, and you could see that apparently. I of course, I had like a tank top and like shorts and whatever, and nowadays I'm more, and it's just I don't.
You don't want to show it off too much, you know?
No, I usually cover my body more than I did. It's not, and again, I look good for my age.
You do look good. You
probably more well trained than some guys in the 30s, if I may say so. But it's not. I don't know. It's in the head, of course. It's something that changes. You know, you become more like, okay, yeah, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, a bit more. Because you know, whenever you stream and I watch you stream and you reach over your head to like scratch or something, when you see that arm just flexing, that you look amazing, bro. You look like, I'm just like, damn, I need arms like that. You know, even when you consider like Adam and stuff, you've got good genetics like from you, because Adam is swole. Like if you guys ever see Adam, like I knew Adam before he was swole. He was like regular Adam, and then he started gymming, and now he's swole looking. You know, you see him in pictures before, and then you meet him in person, and he's all like buff and stuff. You know, he's like, yes, manliness.
Yeah, he has been developing well. He takes it quite, I shouldn't say like seriously, but he really thinks about what he's eating. He's been cutting on sugar, and no, he's in good shape too. He has less body fat, and he looks very he's in good shape, definitely. I'm glad to see that, of course, because it doesn't have to be like that, but I'm glad at least that my sons appreciate, we talked about this before, to do something, to work out and take care of themselves,
Yeah.
Because I see now, as said, I became 55, man. I'm like, shit,
and you're in great shape,
Yeah, but I'm happy that I have invested time as I have, since I would say, we talked about sports before we recorded. And I did like team sports like football, ice hockey, and some judo as well. And I'm happy for those years. But then after that, especially since I then moved down to Stockholm, I stopped, doing those kind of things. But I went on actually quite early on after that. Because I did some weightlifting a bit, like going to a gym also due to the other sports, but not like the main thing. But then I started when I was studying at the music academy at the like end of 80s, like I started at 87, so I would say around 88 already. I started to go at a gym here in Stockholm, and at that time it was still a thing that it was mostly people that were in the fitness or bodybuilding business that went there and worked out really hard. It was a bit more hardcore. Sure, some people, like normal people, doing their weekly thing, but still a thing that most people, they did other stuff. Maybe they play tennis or something, or golf, for that sake. Golf was huge, or still is in a way. But, because when I spoke to people at the music academy, what, you're going to a gym? Oh, you're going to hurt yourself. Be careful with your wrists. You're a percussionist, And I'm like, yeah, sure. But I was working out hard. I started quite early to really go into it and put my effort into it. And even though I came to a point where it also partly hurt me because, I got burned out and everything due to when I got into the situation with touring and having Adam and Isaac as like babies and everything, all that started. It became a bit too much, which is a typical thing. Like me, I'm very much going forward with everything all the time. But even so, I'm happy that it has been, with me, or part like a lifestyle thing, if that makes sense. Because then later, like into, I would say, beginning of the 90s, or it kind of changed. It became like a people thing more. More gyms came around and became more like a thing that people.
It's more popularity thing.
It's more popular, not like only for cavemen going in working out, into a basement gym, because that's what I did. I was. People, it was like, strong and very testosterone, like wild guys.
Smelled like sweat all the time. Yes.
Yeah. It was hard rock, and it was like magnesium in the house, and it was just I kind of miss that in a bit because I kind of like that atmosphere, to be honest, the hardcore thing, but. It's also more healthy now in that aspects because it's more for people, if that makes sense.
Don't say that. Just say it's soft, Rog. Don't try to be nice about it. Be like, it's soft now. It was nice before. We were manly before. Now we are soft.
People went soft. They were taken.
Back in my day, we didn't lift our weights with needing grips and stuff. We used our bare hands like men.
True. But even good. So, it's good. It's interesting when we, this became a bit like looking in the rear mirror a bit. But I think it's my bottom line is apparently just saying that I'm happy that I see that my sons. I mean, Isaac too. He's also he's been doing some really good gains, and it's becoming stronger. And because I do believe that, as you said, even though we laughed about hitting your chest and you feel that you've got some gains and everything. I mean, how should I put it? It's good for our self-confidence and making us stronger, not only in our physical life, so to speak, but also like the mental part of things, because it helps you to maybe stay more positive within your thinking, because you get the endorphins from working out, and whatever, it kind of connects,
it boosts your personal, I guess, like self-confidence in that sense,
I can understand that it's not for everyone. I totally respect that, but I hope that everyone finds a way. It could be, as I also do, like on non-workout days, I take these walks. It could be anything. Just go out, walk, or as you do, take the bike also, or maybe you play. We talked about like table tennis or ping pong or even regular tennis, or as you said, you might get into squash again.
Yeah.
Find something that works for you, and you don't have to be as blood into it as I've been through the years, because I still, even though I'm 55 now, I work out quite heavy. because that's just me,
Yeah.
maybe I have to think about it a bit more now, but even
No,
so, but I just want to say that you can, because I've seen, especially after New Year's Eve, I know through the years, since I've been at gyms like for so many years now, there's people coming in, and these New Year's resolutions, as we call them,
those come and go.
Yeah, they come and go. They train for like 2-3 months tops, and then you don't see them anymore. And it's sad a bit because what they usually do is that they go in and they train too hard too early, instead of just being happy going there. Because I usually say, and I've said it to people that I've helped a bit with training when they start. The first weeks, you don't have to really do that much. Just try to get into the motion of things and start to learn the movements and everything, like the exercises. Try to master the technique, because it's so much about technique, right? So it's basically that. The results would come later, This is a marathon, actually. Doing what especially what I've been doing, that's a marathon.
It's not a sprint.
No, it's not a sprint. It's not. Because if you look at it as a sprint, you will fail. Because also working out with weights, especially, it's quite taxing on your body from time to time. So you also have to learn to rest.
Yeah.
To give proper rest, like good sleep and nutrition.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and you don't have to be extreme about it, but it is factors that comes into play whether you want it or not.
It is a factor of whether you want it or not. I think, for me, I've had stop and start over the years. And I think recently, since I started...
It's normal. It's very normal.
It's very normal, yeah. And I think, previously when I was doing really well, working out and stuff like that, it was because I really wanted it. And I think now that I've started back working out, I really want it. I started off doing it. It initially started off as, because Alex got me this bag of protein powder. And I hate wasting stuff. I hate food going to waste and stuff like that. So it started out as that. I was like, okay, I'll use this just to not... Because at first I was just like, okay, it's there in the house. And I'm looking at the bag and I'm thinking, when does this damn thing expire? I was like, I need to use this. And so I started using it. And then inevitably, as I'm using it, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use this and not use it properly, because obviously... I could probably damage myself or something like that. It could be dangerous for my body. So at that point in time, I said, okay, cool. I'm going to have to do it the right way. And I started back working out again. And then once I got into, like you say, I got into the routine of things, and it, it started to become a thing that I was doing regularly. It just felt fine. Doing the workouts. And sometimes there are days when I just don't feel like working out. I'm just like, bloody hell, I don't want to work out. But I'm like, no, I've got a routine. I've got to keep to it. And then once you start, you can finish. Once you start, you're like, well, we're finishing this tonight. Once the testosterone starts burning and you start sweating and everything, and you're like, and I think for example, it's the same with cycling for me. I get out on the bike and I start cycling, and once I'm going, I'm going, and I look at for example, with Xavi, he's that kind of person where he's slow on the start, but once he starts, he doesn't give up. He'll just keep going and going and going. So if we go for a run or something, he'll finish the run. He'll be breathing and wheezing, and he'll just be willing himself. You can do it. Come on. He just does that. And I see a similar thing with Alex as well. Once she starts doing something, and she's in the motion of doing it, she'll stick it through. She'll fight through just to get it done. And that's good. That's what I think when it comes to a lot of things, it's sometimes you just need that little start on things, because a lot of times in the moment it feels so hard to just start. But and that goes with not just exercise, but I think it goes with creativity, with the stuff that we do.
Exactly. It's true. It's good that you're mentioning that, because that's what I also meant with the mental part of things when it comes to working out. It makes you stronger as a person overall, and especially also when you have been working out for some time and you because everything is not great all the time, as you mentioned too. You sometimes have bad days, and you just got to learn also. Maybe sometimes, you still go to the gym or you work out at home, and you go through it and you feel good afterwards. Usually that's the case, to be honest. Although I've learned also through the years that sometimes actually, if I really don't feel like I don't have the motivation, or I feel like, there's something, that's not good, I might feel a bit bad, whatever have you, I skip it and I come back the next day even more motivated. That can also be a thing to consider. But what I wanted to say is that it kind of learns you a bit of a important discipline kind of lesson too. You know, you also learn to push yourself through, especially the way that me and Isaac have been working out since I said with quite some high intensity and also, you know, some heavy weights. You can learn that I can very often do more than I think I can, if that makes it, because it's the brains that put the limitations sometimes. Sure, there's a physical thing too, but again, and that can translate into what you also described when it comes to having the stamina or the mindset, I would say, the mindset to finish a certain task. It might be to study for a really hard test. It might be to finish an article. It might be for me to finish a song that I've been struggling with, or anything. You know, it will lead to better things overall, I would say. Because it's easy. We've talked about that before, and I had a discussion. I made this video on my channel just the other day. I was a bit like, not ranting, but I was like talking about why I believe that, like, especially now in the genre of FPS, where I'm usually at, you know, playing video games, why games were better
back then than now.
Yeah, exactly. And I made some examples, and I talked a bit why and stuff like that. And there was one guy making the comment, and he said, well, I think one of the problems is just that people now are expecting things to be so easy and accessible, and you just gotta unlock everything without literally doing anything in the game. And it's true, that's actually a thing, and I think that translates into certain things and areas in life, and that's why I believe also, if we go back now to training or working out, it's a good thing, because then you learn that, well, this is how it is.
Things don't come easy.
Things don't go easy, and it's you just have to put the effort in it, whatever it is. So yeah, it's good. No, I'm happy. I said it before also, when you talked about working out, that I'm glad that you're finding something that suits you and you feel good about it. That's the most important thing. That, you know, at the end of the day, if you sum things up here, that you it's good for you, you know.
It definitely is. It definitely is, and I feel good about my work and all that kind of stuff. And as you mentioned, in regards to things just being easier nowadays, I think I know where that started. That sort of mindset, and I think that started when when kids at school, and every kid gets an award even if they don't win, you know, kind of that kind of mindset. I think that the whole sort of thing, like, oh, we'll give every kid an award, sort of creates this mindset of like, well, no matter, even if I don't try, I'll still get something anyway. I'll still be rewarded for it. Whereas realistically speaking, in life, that's not how it works. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Like, they don't just give you money just because you exist, you know. At least not in most places or in most circumstances.
True.
So I think that sort of mindset, because it started with that sort of thing, and then it's grown and grown and grown, and then it just developed throughout the years. I think that's where we're at now, where games and pretty much everything we have is all about instant gratification, rather than that slow build where, you know, you earn something and then you learn to appreciate the fact of the thing after you've earned it, sort of. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. So with that, we've got to head out. You know, I've got to eat. Yep. You've got to have coffee. Adam is waiting. Yes. You know, he's definitely waiting on you. I know it. You know, he's
actually no. He even though this is the day, like midweek Wednesday when we're recording now, or also live streaming the podcast, he usually works from home. But he's he went into the studio today, so he's there.
No, it doesn't matter if he's in the studio. He's waiting for you to have your coffee at the same time.
You got
psychologically there. He's just like, oh, I can tell Dad hasn't had his coffee this morning. I'm very disappointed in him.
Said you got me. That's a good one. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but it's true. We need to split. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So
I gotta say things now. Okay, thanks, Muffin and out. No, not really. Thanks a lot for being here, guys. Thanks for listening to us. I hope you got some good, entertaining moments here as well, but also some tips when it comes to some good tele or series, and of course also some beautiful video gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, I hope the sun will shine on you as well. Have a really beautiful week, and talk to you soon again. Muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. So with that, guys, thank you very, very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. As always, you can find Rog at 40 Splish Splash pretty much everywhere. That's number 40 with SPLISH. He streams on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Sunday. That's correct, Rog?
It's so good. It's correct.
And you guys are gonna get to see that new game he's playing, that the Outlast Trials, which is
indeed
supposed to be very terrifying. You know, Roger does scream very authentically in his terrifying games, so it's gonna be entertaining.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
a little taste, yeah.
Give them a taste of the scream, Rog. How do you scream when the monsters jump out at you? You can find me pretty much everywhere at LP Gardner's Guidance to you. You know, I stream at Simply Binge, pretty much on a Monday and a Thursday, which that has not been. I did not stream yesterday on Monday, and I did not stream did I stream last Thursday? I can't remember. I've been a bit off on my streaming thing, but you know, that's about the consistency. We gotta just get it started and we'll get it done. So that being said, as always, we wouldn't, I guess, miss any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, simplybinge.com and elsewhere. And what's the comment gonna like it that we're giving away for free. So as always, guys, this has been cute for your pleasure. And it's a wrap. That is the episode, and I'm going to hit end now, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and la-di-darn swiddle swiddle to you.